Welcome back to Generational Dr. Wealth, a personal finance show for doctors. This podcast is for educational entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult your own professionals. Hello. Welcome back to the Dr. Wealth Show. Today, we're going to be tackling part 2 of the Invest question and answer episode. And again, if you would like your questions answered live on the Dr. Wealth Show, feel free to send us an email. drwealth@teamfinancials.com. Again, that's drwealth@teamfinancials.com is our email, as well as you can always message us directly on our social medias, which you can find us at Dr. Wealth Show. That is, once again, at Dr. Wealth Show. Let's enjoy this action-packed episode.
All right, so our next doctor we have is Dr. Ellis, which is an orthopedic surgeon. Dr. Ellis asks, I max out my 401k, back to a Roth, and HSA every year. What's the next move for high-income doctors trying to build serious wealth?
That's a really good question. And this gives us a chance to really figure out what other avenues are available to us. But one thing I will say is the wealthy don't stop investing just because the retirement accounts are full. All right. That's a nice rule of thumb to be thinking about. Now we have to figure out what other accounts are available to us. Once we've maxed out what the government allows us to do, now we have to get a little bit more creative. Now, one really good place to start thinking about investing, especially if you have truly excess income sitting to the side, do I own my home? Mm-hmm. That's going to be a key question. Because imagine if you max out all your accounts, you have $300,000 sitting in cash, and you're still renting in a community that you've lived 5 to 10 plus years that you actually love. Mm-hmm. This is a good chance for you to go ahead and purchase something that you like and start building up that equity while you're in a living space. Mm-hmm. See, one thing I always say is every single person is in the real estate business. The only question is, what side of the transaction are you on? Are you a renter? Are you a landlord? Mm-hmm. That's truly the only question. Now, being a landlord is not necessarily the first step everyone should take. Right. Take time to figure out, do I actually like being in this community? Am I going to actually work in this community? See, being a travel dentist, I worked in so many different communities. We bought homes in some of the different communities, but we didn't buy homes in every community. And so a lot of people think that, oh, as soon as I get there, I need to buy a home. No. Take a good year to figure out, is this where you want to be? Or if it's home, you can go ahead, like if that's your home city, then maybe you can go ahead and lay down roots a little bit earlier. Right. Now, if it's a new community you're new to, then you want to figure out, is this something that I'm going to do? Exactly, right? Now, if you're buying a practice, then you've already committed in a different way. So you might as well start thinking about a home as well. But the reason I say this is because a home is a great way to start building wealth, especially if you're trying to find other avenues. And I like a home because that's something that you're going to use. When it comes to stocks, you're not living in a stock. You can't taste a stock. You can't do anything with your stocks. It's nice to see it going up on a screen, but if I want to think about where's the next place I'm going to put $1, I'd rather put $1 into somewhere that I'm actually going to experience, something I'm going to actually enjoy. See, one of my dentist friends was telling me that, you know what, I saved and I really want to do something for myself. Mm-hmm. I remember him talking to me. He told me, you know what, I'm thinking about buying a car. I know you hate cars. You don't want me to buy a car, but I surprised him in my response. I said, listen, go get the car of your dreams. Go get what you want. Because at the end of the day, once you've done what you're supposed to do, which is max out these accounts, which is put funds in the proper places, do what you want to do. You work hard.
To reward yourself.
Absolutely. And I'm so proud of him. He got his dream car. Beautiful car. When I first saw it, I was like, yo, this was worth every single dime. Yeah. And believe it or not, he bought a car that they don't no longer make those type of cars. So he technically bought a collectible. So now he's bought an asset without even realizing it. Right. And that's how you want to kind of think about it. What are the things that I already do in my life? How can I put funds towards that so I can start enjoying my life more? So once you've maxed out, go ahead and get in the house that you want. Obviously, don't go crazy. Get the house that you want. Don't get the house that Instagram wants. Get the house that you truly want. Like the house that we purchased. It was the exact house that you wanted. Had an open floor plan. It gave me exactly what I want. We have no neighbors. I love it. We have enough land. I love it because it's so tucked off and it's secluded, and it's still in a major city of Charlotte, North Carolina. It's right near our work. It's less than 20 minutes away. See, we got what we wanted. It's not necessarily in the most expensive part of town, but we got what we wanted. And as it continues to grow in value, now we can continue to enjoy without having to pay top dollar and have a doctor's house and bleed out an extra $3,000 to $4,000 for a mortgage for a house that we don't even like. See, in this house, we have 2 studios that you've created.
Mm-hmm.
We can't even use all the space in this house.
Yeah.
And most people are going to have a hard time using a 2,000 square foot, 3,000, 5,000
And it's still
square
a
foot house.
modest size.
And it's still a modest sized home.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's 3 of us, you, me, and Big Boy.
Yeah.
How much space do we need? So think to yourself, what exactly do you need?
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Not what Instagram wants to see you happen. What's your dream car? What's your dream home? Not what other people have put into your head, because that's a great place for our doctor to go ahead and start putting away assets now. Now, once you go ahead and got all that taken care of, let's move to the next thing. Now we can start thinking about strategically buying different things. We can strategically think about buying more real estate if that's what you're interested in. But what I would say is go ahead and start thinking about your taxable brokerage account. We're going to keep talking about this throughout the episode, because after you go through those 3 accounts, that's a good place to start tucking away funds, because you have access to those funds anytime you want, as well as when you hold your funds in a taxable brokerage account for a year and a day plus, you get long-term capital gains rates, which are much more favorable, especially for doctors with higher incomes. Now, what I will say is, if you need those funds sooner than 2 to 5 years, I probably wouldn't put into a taxable brokerage account.
Right.
But if you know, like, again, let's say you have like a practice remodel you want to do, I probably wouldn't be putting money into a taxable brokerage account. I probably put it into a high yield savings account, put it aside, because you don't want the market to fluctuate in a time that you actually need those dollars. If you have a child that's about to go to college next year, I probably wouldn't be putting that into a taxable brokerage account.
Yeah.
Even if you have a 529, that would be a good time for you to start rebalancing that portfolio, to move from just being heavy mutual funds to start balancing some bonds with the mutual funds. So when you need those funds in the next year to 2 years, are actually available for you. See, that's a key difference people don't understand sometimes. When it comes to finances, the finances advice that I give is going to be dependent on when you actually need those funds. The reason I say be more aggressive in your retirement accounts is because you don't need those funds for 20, 30, some people 40 years. But if you know you need those monies tomorrow, then I'll be very strategic on when you put that. Asset allocation is key. Where you put your funds, where you store your dollars is going to be absolutely key as you map out the next step.
I think that's very good. So we'll probably have to drop some information on FHID's 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, 5+ years, like what accounts will be best to put those funds in, so people can know, like, depending on their situation, where they should allocate those resources to.
Absolutely. I'm going to throw even a more sneaky gem in there. One thing I would like Dr. Ellis to do is to reevaluate. I'm making $650,000 a year. How much does it cost to be Dr. Ellis, right? If it's less than half, because I know some people who are living on less than half their income, can you change some things in your life to make it more enjoyable? 2 ways. Number 1, do you like your work schedule? Do you enjoy working 4, 5 days a week? Do you like the people that you work with? If not, or if you would enjoy not working as much and working maybe in a different area outside of medicine, this is a good time to possibly wind things down from working full-time to maybe working part-time. Because once you start hitting certain numbers, honestly, time is going to do the difference. It's going to do everything else. If Dr. Ellis is able to stash away, again, let's say 1 year's worth of income into investments accounts, it's probably going to hit the numbers that Dr. Ellis is going to need long-term. So now it gives you a chance to figure out, do I enjoy the way I work?
If you've been listening to the show, you probably heard us talk about the Doctor's Blueprint, the 9-step framework that helps doctors go from 6-figure debt to financial freedom. But a lot of listeners have asked the same question. How do I apply this to my own situation? That's exactly why we created the Dr. Wealth Blueprint Plan. It's a personalized financial roadmap designed specifically for doctors. We walk through your entire financial picture, your debt, insurance coverage, saving strategies, investment plan, and long-term goals, and then turn it into a clear step-by-step plan based on the Doctor's Blueprint. If you're interested, just text the word blueprint to 704-336-9313, and we'll send you the details and application. Again, that's blueprint to 704-336-9313 to learn more about the Dr. Wealth Blueprint Plan.
One thing about when it came to us is when it came to work, we said early on, 3 days a week is plenty enough for us. We rather work 12 hours so we can have more days off. I remember even when we were interviewing our employees, I told them, I'd rather you be off more days than with us. I'd rather you have more days to spend with your family than us. So our team has 4 days off and they work 3 days. And man, at the end of that third day, you can just see them coming to life, knowing they have 4 straight days off. And the way we stagger it, a short week for us is 3 days, a long week off is 5 days. So that's something I would ask Dr. Ellis. Now, another thing to think about is practice ownership something you're interested in? You have the opportunity to take a little bit more risk. You don't even have to go all in. Maybe you want to go part-time at your job and maybe start something smaller on the side. You have so many more options at this point, Dr. Ellis. I don't want you to just think about this as a financial decision. I want you to think of this as a lifestyle, as a life decision.
That's good. That's really good.
Absolutely.
All right. So we have our next doctor. We have Dr. Lopez. She is an OBGYN. The question that she asks is, everyone keeps telling me to invest in index funds. Am I missing out by not buying individual stocks?
Everybody thinks that, right? Especially on the back of this SpaceX IPO, and which means initial public offering. SpaceX is a company that Elon Musk owns about, I want to say 42% of. And when it dropped, everybody was like, should I start buying individual stocks? And I told everybody, no, I would not suggest buying into individual stocks unless you know about this company. And I remember thinking to myself when it released, because it was the largest IPO offering of all time. And it initially started at $1.75 trillion. We got into the IPO. So we have SpaceX stocks, for full disclosure. But I remember when it first dropped, it jumped straight up 30%. So all of our IPO stocks jumped up 30%. Now, at that point, you have an opportunity do you want to buy more stock? I said, absolutely not. We're not buying any more stock. We need to wait to see what exactly is this stock going to do over time. Now, I remember being at the gym. It was 3 days after it dropped. It went from $170,000 to $230. Literally jumped $60 in one day, nearly. And I thought to myself,
wait, you said 100 and
it was $170.
Okay, $170.
Yes. The IPO started at $135.
Okay.
By the end of the day, it jumped up to about $170, $180. Okay. While I was at the gym a few days later, the stock was still going up. It ended up hitting $230. And I was thinking to myself, do I need to buy more of this stock?
Right.
But then a part of me told me, stick to your principles.
It's volatile.
Do not buy into this stock at this point because you already know when you want to buy in. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. And as we speak right now, it dropped back down to the 170s. And that's for you, Dr. Lopez, out there. Stick to the principles. Simplicity wins when it comes to our finances. See, I've done the individual stock game. And then I've done the portfolios, which are your index funds. And it amazes me every time, literally just yesterday, after I left the office, I was looking at the difference between, you could have 2 different portfolios, one that has individual stocks and one that has index funds. And the index fund portfolio is kicking the individual stocks butt like almost 5 to 10% better across the year. And I'm thinking to myself, how is it possible for this index fund portfolio, because we have a 4-fund index fund portfolio, and then we have another portfolio that has a bunch of individual stocks, and it just keeps destroying it. I don't know how, but that's how it goes. For all those out there, I want you to look at some of the biggest companies, see how it's going this year. Look at Microsoft. Microsoft is down on the year. Google is up. You're talking about Facebook is down. So some of the bigger companies that you might have into your individual portfolio that you might think are bulletproof are down right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to the mass or the greater market, it tends to be up. So if you're putting all your eggs into an individual stock basket, you're playing with the fluctuation. Instead, stick to simple principles, because when it comes to money managing, that simplicity wins. And again, the money managers are doing the same exact thing. When I talk to a lot of my finance friends, a lot of them say, honestly, simplicity wins. Just stick to the plan. The goal is for long-term growth. You don't need 30, 40, 50% gains. But what you do need is 30, 40, 50 years. If you have any kind of, let's say if you have 7% or 10%, if you're able to maintain that for 30 or 40 years, you're going to hit your goals as long as you're maxing out those 3 accounts that we spoke of.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because with index funds, generally it's for the individuals that are playing it a little bit safer. It's more of a consistent return, whereas the individuals, that may be a higher return, but it's a little bit more riskier. So we definitely want to make sure that we follow those principles, depending on what season you're in of life, what category you fit in, that you invest in the one that fits you the best.
Hello, I'm Jonathan with Team Financials, and here at Team Financials, we make filing simple, accurate, and stress-free. Tax season does not have to be stressful, and we are here to make it as simple and stress-free as possible for you. Whether you need help with your personal tax return or your business owner looking for expert tax preparation, our experienced team is here to guide you every step of the way. We don't just file your taxes. Our slogan here at Team Financials is we educate so you can elevate, because when you understand your finances, you make stronger, smarter moves for your future. If you mention Dr. Wealth when filing with us, you will receive $75 off your personal and business tax preparations. Ready to get started? Please reach out to us at 704-412-4242 or book directly on our website at teamfinancials.com. Take care. Have a good rest of the day. Bye.
At the Hinman Dental Conference, we spoke about the art of average. And this was basically stating that you can get extraordinary results doing average things. And the reason I like that is because, again, you don't have to have 20, 30, 40%. But if you get average returns, which is 10% over the last 100 years of the stock market, and you have enough time, man, you'll be amazed how things can grow at an exponential rate. I'm so excited for you all to join us this week on the Dr. Wealth Show. This is a truly fun conversation on invest. Any closing words?
Just to make sure that you know what category you fit in, you know what season you're in, you take the steps seriously, and you utilize every single one of them as you're in those different categories.
Absolutely. If you have any questions or you would like your question answered in the next Q&A episode, drop information in the link below. We have our email and our Instagram handles. We would love to answer you live. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Generational Dr. Wealth Show. See ya. Peace.
Bye.
This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not intended to be financial, legal, or medical advice. We are not acting as your personal financial advisors. The strategies discussed are general in nature and may not be appropriate for your individual situations. You should always consult your own qualified financial, tax, and legal professionals before making decisions about your money. The host and guests are not responsible for any actions you take based on the information shared on this show.